welcome to the Gov Nation Network. I'm Tyler Graves, joined with Athletic Director Scott Cupp. This is our 2021 Spring Sports Recap. Scott, I want to start with softball. Obviously, they've been on a tear lately. They played last night against Hardin Valley for a region berth, and they won 14-10, had 4 home runs. Classen actually hit a grand slam. So just talk about softball this year, and they've been playing really good ball lately.
Yeah, they have. They got off to a slow start. I believe Coach Leatherwood would admit to that. Really, the turning point was here at home on Chris Hauser Field against Maryville when they walked it off in the bottom of the 7th. I think they scored 5 runs to beat Maryville, and that kind of propelled them throughout the rest of the season. Got them on quite a streak, actually. Maybe won 9 out of 10 or something like that. And anyway, it's a tough district year in and year out. Coach Leatherwood's team normally finds a way to contend for the district title. This year they went in as the 3 seed for the tournament, was able to upend Hardin Valley twice, and so they make their way to the region. Boy, Farragut's very good, and they didn't do very well in the championship game. But with that said, they don't have to beat Farragut in order to make it even to the sub-state. They just have to beat Powell. And Powell's got a very good pitcher, and so that'll be Monday night at 6 o'clock. That's May, whatever that's going to be. 20 or 17, something like that.
Yeah,
anyway, this coming Monday, they'll play at Powell at 6 o'clock. Winner will go to the regional championship game and also gets an automatic berth to the sectionals. So you don't have to beat Farragut to make it to the state, but you do got to beat Powell. And Powell's definitely got a good ball club. Our team this year got a lot of pop most games. Now, Farragut shut them out last night. Farragut's got a great pitcher. But boy, I don't know how many home runs Classen's hit, but it's a lot.
Yeah, I was kind of wondering, why even throw her a ball over the plate right now? Because she hit 2 last night. Garland and Chloe Russell also had home runs. We have 3 all-district players, Classen, Josie Hutchins, and Mackenzie Blevins. And Hutchins is one of 2 seniors. Right. Garland's the other. And they beat Maryville 3 times this year already.
You can't beat that. Anytime you beat Maryville 3 times, that's a good year. Maryville had a little bit of a tough run this year. They had trouble, getting people out. They could hit. They gave up a lot of runs. We were able to take advantage of that.
Yeah. And now moving on to baseball, they had a lot of guys had slumps this year at really bad times. Lost 5 games by 1 run, but Colby Abbott and Brody Kirkland were named all-district. That was announced, I think, yesterday. So just talk about the baseball season and what you saw out of the guys this year.
Actually, they were 0-6 in 1-run games just in district play. That really got them down, I think, mentally. The problem that Coach Young will tell you all year, outside of Colby, I think hit over 400, everybody else struggled hitting the baseball consistently. Yeah. And their pitching was good, but if you can't hit it, you can't score a lot of runs, you're going to find yourself in a lot of 1-run games and close games. And unfortunately, this year just unraveled on them with those losses. The bright spot is you beat Bearden twice, you beat West a couple times, and you had Farragut down 4-1 twice. Once here at home in the 6th inning, and then at Farragut in the 5th inning. And Farragut just won the district. So that just tells you they were right there. But baseball, this district's so even a lot of times that you just can't. It's just hard when you go out there and you give the ball to your pitchers. Avery had a great season, Rhodey, and Jacob, and then, of course, throwing in Brandon. Those are the 4 main pitchers. But it's just tough when you have to expect them to go out there and keep them 2 runs or less to have a chance.
Yep. And now moving on to track, Ben Sanders has been in the news recently. He's number 1 in large school state for throwing now. And we also have a new head coach, Sean Witcher from Heritage, is going to come over and coach track and field next year.
That's correct. It's been an interesting year in track because Coach Bosco left to go to Eagleton. Well, he's still here teaching, but he needed to get over there and start his athletic director roles. So he left pretty quick into the season. Coach Davis did an admirable job filling in, knowing he was also going to go to Eagleton. But he stayed on board. He has a lot of connections with these kids from coaching them over the years. So he's done a fantastic job of keeping the unit together. And obviously Ben's got a good chance to win the state championship.
Yep. And now moving on to soccer, we had boys soccer this spring. Talk about them.
Well, they moved back over here to Mike White Field this year. They've been at Carpenter's the last couple of years. So Coach Hill wanted to come over and use the football field. It's just more convenient, and it worked out well as far as that's concerned. rough year for them as far as wins and losses were concerned. A little bit young this year, and so hopefully good things will come in the future. Good. The bright spot was they at least got them a win on senior night over here against Halls, 1-0 as they pitched a shutout. So Coach Hill's doing what he can. It's just hard. You don't have a lot of club players here like you do in Knoxville, and just like all the other sports, the leagues aren't easy. So sometimes if you got a lot of inexperience on the team, it shows.
And something you know a lot more than I do about is tennis. Your own son, Baylor Cupp, he's had a pretty good year this year. Talk about him. I know Ella Webb and Bookout, they've been doing pretty good too. So just talk about tennis, as I know you've watched.
Yeah, I've watched them all, and I'm
year.
probably the only athletic director around that saw all the tennis matches. Of course, I have a reason. But they, both the boys and girls teams had great seasons. The girls finished third in the district and lost to Maryville in the semifinals of the district tournament. The boys actually finished second in the district, and they did the same thing. They lost to Maryville in the semifinals on just it was a very close match. The final court came down to a tiebreaker. So they had great seasons as a whole, something that our school doesn't always have here recently. I know they had some a few years ago. But individually speaking, on the girls' side, Ella Webb and Estella Bookout, they're still alive to play in the region tournament. That'll be Saturday morning. They're 2 wins away from the state tournament. And then on the boys' side, we don't have any doubles teams still alive. But on the singles side of things, Baylor Cupp and John Macon are both in it out of 4. There's only 4 players left in the 2 districts, which comprises of our league, which is Hardin Valley, Farragut, Maryville, Bearden, all those schools, and Heritage, along with the other league, Oak Ridge, Halls, Powell. There's only 4 players left, and 2 of them are from William Blount, Baylor and John. They played each other for the district championship, and so Baylor won that. But then they obviously don't play in the semis each other on Saturday. I think John plays a kid from Oak Ridge, Andy Lee, and Baylor plays a kid from Central, Luke Prince. But if they both win, they'll play each other for the regional championship, and the winner of that goes to the state tournament. So they're real close.
Mm-hmm. And last but not least, we're going to talk about, we had a little spring football this year. Of course, we didn't have spring football last year, so certainly thankful that we had that this year. The defense shined in the orange and blue spring game, and we have a lot of new players, a lot of new coaching staff members. Coach Claybo, Coach T, Coach Winery, Coach Reeves, some more are coming. They're on their way. So just talk about football as a whole, and what do you see out of the football program going into 2021?
It's been an incredible turnaround and turnover, I should say, in staff. With Coach Bosco leaving to go to Eagleton and with Coach Davis following him, we had to get some, not position coaches, but a top-notch coach that can do a coordinator-type role. And Coach Winery, we got him from South Doyle, and that kind of opened the floodgates, because with him came Coach Claybo, who'll do the offensive line and be run game coordinator. Then you got Coach T, who's also been at South Doyle, who's just full of energy. He'll also help on the defense. And then all of a sudden, here comes Robert Reeves back from Heritage. He was here 10, 15 years ago and coached here. A great addition as well. We have Coach Henson coming from California. He wasn't here this spring, obviously, but he'll be in to help. And maybe more, as you say. So it's almost like we had a new head coach, even though we didn't. But Shad's had to learn all the new guys, and he loves the energy that's going on out there. And, the orange and blue game, you can't scrimmage against the other teams still with COVID. The orange and blue game is difficult for them because you're kind of dividing your own team up evenly. And so who knows what to come out of that. But I did, from what everyone said, the defense obviously took over that game. But good things on the horizon for the offense, too. Matthew Clemmer's going to step in under Trey's spot, and his brother, and I think he'll perform admirably. Still got Bryson Williams coming back at running back. A solid offensive line. All the skill players are pretty much back. You got Owen and Matosian and L.A. at the receiving spot. So, it's an Eli Turner on defense. There's a lot of excitement, a lot of people expecting good things from William Blount next year in the new Region 1.
Yep. All right. Thanks, Scott. And this interview is brought to you by Prep Sports HD. Make sure you follow them on Facebook at Prep Sports HD.
Let's play.